I'm Nick, and this is Kenny. We're the Malt Vault. Strap on. Time for a good Rogering. Oh,
you're telling me.
We're live. Oops. All right, we're going to talk about Dos Equis.
Am I doing it?
Interesting beer.
All right, you got it.
Nope. I'm just setting you up, my friend. Give it to us.
Did somebody slip you something?
I need a bottle opener for this beer, though. I would love to enjoy it. Hook the brother up.
Nick gets paid every time he uses the word enjoy.
Sorry.
It's a 10-cent royalty, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to hook up my Patreon page with my 10-cent royalty.
That's just good business sense.
I'm stuck at 1876, getting my 10 cents. Like, that's going to carry some weight. Dos Equis Ambar Especial.
All
Kenny,
right.
I want to hear it. Bring it. Bring the heat.
Let me talk then.
Okay, my bad.
All right. Welcome to the Malt Vault. This week, we're going to be talking about Dos Equis. Strap in. Sorry. It's not an intro.
Yeah, it's a good brand.
I fudged up, man.
It's okay.
This is Kenny's dad's coffee cup.
Yeah. It's mine now, Dick.
Everybody
boy.
thinks my laugh is fake. It's not fake. It's purely organic.
All right.
It's orgasmic.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to check out Dos Equis this week.
You said that.
Who's got the stats up? Someone
I do.
have the stats up? Go with
do.
the stats.
So we are going to be drinking the Ambar Especial, which is the flagship. A lot of people are really common with the regular.
Familiar.
They're more familiar with the lager in America. It's actually one that was made after the fact. But the Ambar, which is what would you say it was originally Siglo 20?
Siglo 20 or Siglo XX, meaning
20th century.
20th century. So this beer was created to celebrate the coming of the 20th century.
Yeah,
That's
so this
1900
one,
for you folks
Yep.
who don't understand that, which I completely sympathize with.
Yep, it's a 4.7% ABV with a 25 IBU, 3.24, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the highest rated beer that we've seen on Untapped?
No,
What was higher than that?
another beer that we did.
Oh,
That makes sense.
okay. Well, we've done over 100. So
Yeah, this is 102, I believe.
then the Lager Especial gets a 3.1 pedestrian with a 10 IBU, which is probably the lowest IBU I think we've seen other than Natural Light, and a 4.2 ABV. So a little bit lighter on the alcohol content and a little less bitter than your Amber.
I think that you have to update your name at some point, or at least go back to the fact that you're calling yourself 2X's, and that was hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of living in the past. You live in the past, you die in the past.
It was also
But it's still here. So.
some kind of an ode to Montezuma, I believe. I think that was like a symbol of his or something.
2X's?
I don't know. Maybe he went like this a lot. I don't know.
It was
Was that like the signal to his henchmen to kill someone? Like,
Yeah.
it's the precursor to Triple X.
That was the original cancel culture.
yeah, I mean, I guess it went this way to Triple H.
Again, this is another Vienna style brew. So just reading off like history of some Mexican beer in general, the history of beer in Mexico in general. The Austrian Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian was named the Emperor of Mexico. This was like late. Oh shit! I didn't write the date on here. Look it up.
Wait, I gotta stop you.
Ferdinand Maximilian. Good.
You said there's an Archduke
From Austria.
Ferdinand?
He was a royalty from
Not
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Sorry, maybe I said Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
how many archdukes from Austria can have like F names?
Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
There was
Whoa,
a
I wonder
lot
if
of
they were-
incest.
Had to be a
Inside job.
family member, right? Ferdinand Maximilian, Austrian Archduke.
Kenny, it was formed in 1890 in Monterey, which is
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about just Dos Equis in general. I'm talking about the
gotcha.
Austrian Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian was named the Emperor of Mexico. He went to Mexico. With him, he brought his personal brewer who worked for him and
As-
made his beer.
As one does.
You know, usually when you go on a trip, you bring your brewer.
Yeah, kind of like you have a chef, you have a brewer,
Nutritionist.
a butler, nutrition. Yeah, I don't think
Your
there's nutritionists back
personal
then.
assistant, and then you bring your brewer, right?
Massage therapist.
You don't
Hey,
just
what-
bring someone who goes and gets beers for you. You bring someone who goes out
That triggers
and makes,
me. I'm not a Deshaun Watson fan.
goes out and makes beer for you. So he brought his brewer with him, who started making a lot of Vienna style brews in Mexico, training a bunch of people to make them, and that kind of led to the four main beer groups: Bohemia. Beer companies in Mexico, early Mexico.
Like the food groups.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, this is the Mexican triangle of food. Bohemia, Carta Blanca, Victoria, and Dos Equis.
Yeah, I saw that both the Dos Equis beers were bottom fermented in cold temps
What's that mean?
to use more sugar or to protect the sugar, the more corn syrup. So I
Damn, with the sugar already.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Why do I always drink it and get tired then?
Couple of power bottoms, those two.
Yeah, Power Bottoms.
Yeah.
Its parent company in 2010. We talked about this earlier before the show. 2010, Heineken.
That's very.
Heineken bought.
Yeah, like
they-
300 years after where we're at, though.
Yeah.
So we just jumped really far. But I got to go back now.
We're actually in the
they
future.
have. Okay, so they have.
I'm going to go back to Prohibition.
They have 7 breweries
Hold
in
on.
Mexico.
I don't want to know what they have right now.
Okay.
Right? Should we
Yep.
take? We
Yep.
want to go on a
Okay.
journey. Let's go on a journey.
Yep. Let's go on a journey. That's what the people want.
So let's go with World War One before Prohibition. Even World War One caused a huge strain on the supply chain is a very loose term at this point in World War One. The 1916s, what stuff's going by steamships. There's not much
Leaky
plane
boats.
transports probably in World War One.
A lot of leaky boats.
You can't say loose. It's one of my triggers.
Okay, a lot of
Tight. He's tight like a tiger.
so let's say it's a flaccid term then. That's a very flaccid term for that time frame.
I'll allow it.
Okay, thank you.
Got him on a technicality.
Yeah. So a flaccid term for supply chain. What 1916? They're not flying this. They're not flying cargo planes yet, right?
Who was
No.
saying supply chain back then? What do we got? A bunch of MBAs doing
No,
nothing?
I inserted supply chain, but the point is World War One, right? The state of the world and distribution. They were having troubles importing anything to produce this Vienna style lager in Mexico. So a lot of breweries in Mexico started turning to more locally sourced things and started producing like Modelo and Corona, these light colored beers, right? We still have one. Like this is Dos Equis, this is Corona. They started producing more light stuff, and Dos Equis wasn't having it. They want to be the most interesting company in the world.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good marketing thing. I wonder if it worked out for him.
And then also I just have Prohibition in the US flooded the Mexican beer market. We'd mentioned this in a prior
I think that
prior
it's safe to
episode.
say that a lot of German and Austrian beer makers, I think this is, I'm going to make a fact, okay? You ready, Seth? Ready for this hot button topic?
I'm here for it.
The degenerate beer brewers in Germany,
You're calling them degens?
yeah, they couldn't cut it, man, out in Germany. So they said, F it, we're going to go somewhere else.
I would say that every German
Mic drop.
that made beer in America
That sucked.
makes more money than any German that makes beer in Germany.
I think so.
Because we are the Wild West at the time.
Why couldn't they make it in Germany, though? Why'd they have to be quitters?
I think they saw an opportunity and they came here.
Quitters.
Sure.
Anyway, here's Border Wall.
Where quitting worked. But
You got
yeah.
Border Wall?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh.
The famous meme that was released
today.
I'll
put it up.
So Wilhelm Hasse, right?
Yeah.
Obviously a national-born Mexican. Wilhelm Hasse. That was a German immigrant to Mexico, which you don't hear a lot of German.
do you get to
Germans
say-
immigrating to Mexico?
An expat? Or is that only when Americans go somewhere else?
I would say the Germans definitely didn't want him back.
Can you
after that,
repeat his name again?
right? Wilhelm Hasse or Hasse? Hasse. Hasse.
It's also the name of a famous Nazi general. So if you search his name,
Wilhelm Hasse.
yeah, if you look that name up, it is very difficult to pull up the actual guy who made this because the famous Nazi general is a lot of your pings.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So be careful. He's not the same guy that was a famous Nazi general.
Red flag, double red flag alert. No swimming today.
It'll take you to eBay where Nick has bid on a lot of the memorabilia.
Oh boy. But never won. Can't close this guy.
Not a closer. Waters for closers only, Nick.
I just build it up.
Online auctions are only for real men of genius. So, German immigrant to Mexico in 1890. Like, can you imagine? I mean, you don't think about that happening, right? A guy going from Germany to Mexico in 1890, like no air conditioning. Whew.
Yeah, he probably went to Pennsylvania and was like, I'll just keep going south. See what happens.
Yeah.
Someone's like, hey, you should go down here. People are letting you go here.
Then he ran into, what's his name? Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Everybody knows that guy. He's a guy. He looks like a guy. That's what guys look like.
Yeah, he's a guy.
Jimmy's brother.
So this German immigrant to Mexico, 1890, forms the Montezuma Brewery. No, stop. I don't know what you're doing. Stop. First beer was the Siglo XX. Roman numeral 20th century to celebrate. We talked about that, to celebrate the 20th century. It included malted barley, cornstarch, syrup, hops, and water.
Good thing we looked up corn syrup, right? Now we know that.
Cornstarch syrup.
Cornstarch
syrup. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a whole new bend on it.
Yep.
Still don't get it.
We've discovered a new element. We're bringing science into this shit.
But yeah, that Montezuma brewery, the Siglo XX was so popular that eventually the brewery just became known as the XX Brewery. Dos Equis is Spanish for two X's. 1897 is when, I don't know if that's when Dos Equis opened or when this Montezuma brewery opened, and it just took over the moniker.
But speaking of which, when you were recently in Vegas and ordered a Dos Equis, how'd that go?
I pronounced it wrong. I ordered a Dos Equis, like two X's
Which
and then I got made fun of.
Hispanic would say.
Maybe if they speak Spanish. But yeah, I said it wrong apparently, and they corrected me to Dos Equis.
You're no longer welcome in that part of the world. Sorry, bud.
That's fine. I won't go to Nacho Daddy in Las Vegas.
Sorry, sweetie.
Thanks a lot, Bianca. What's the waitress's name?
She sounds cute.
No,
she doesn't sound cute.
Monterrey, I heard, is a very, very prestigious area of Mexico, if there is such thing. But I've heard that it's a pretty.
I've only had one guy from there ever, is Monterey Jack. He's really cheesy.
Mexico has some good people, I'm sure.
Monterey Jack was great.
Yeah.
It's
Rescue Rangers.
He just laid down all over my nachos, though.
Oh, okay. Man, I'm slow.
Yep.
Monterey Jack. And his friend Cheddar.
They're parent company of Heineken now. Heineken bought them in 2010.
They are the parent company of Heineken?
No, Heineken owns them.
So Heineken bought them.
Mm-hmm.
They were not imported to America
until 1983.
Yeah. How'd you know?
I wrote that down in my notes.
Nice. Me too.
In my thinker. I'm not a stinker. I use my thinker. They also own Sol and Tecate, which is a popular brand. I'm just going to make a statement that I believe that
Brave.
Even though both of these beers, Modelo Corona and Dos Equis, haven't really made it to the United States until like 1970, and then after that, I really think that a lot of these beers were bootlegged in the United States for speakeasies.
In the same way that
that's kind of where our taste for Mexican beer and all of the negative connotations that Mexico has with the United States. It's where it's all derived from. Is that a correct word? Derived? Driven?
I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean?
I am saying that although it is officially stated that these beers did not arrive in the United States until after 1970, that they were damn well in the United States well before that, illegally.
Oh.
And that they are the true derivative to why we currently enjoy Mexican beer now. Like 1983, we weren't like, oh shit, this is Dos Equis. It was like, oh, Dos Equis, it's finally here officially.
Do you think that we should be putting this beer in cages?
Like a cage match? UFC?
That was a bad joke.
Cock joke?
Like children.
Cockfighting joke?
Children.
And then stage some photo, like get a photo op going.
He once started a sentence and didn't know how it would end.
Nick, I do like your theory about the border thing earlier or whatever we're going with there.
Yep.
So, trivia time. The name of the most interesting man in the world.
Jorge.
Jonathan Goldsmith. He's from the Bronx.
He's born in the gold.
He's born in the Bronx. His mom was a model. He moved out. He thought he would make it in Hollywood as an actor. He moved out of Hollywood. He got some side roles in just like a couple low budget, no name shows. I don't know, from the 60s, 70s. Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Hawaii Five-0, Knight Rider, and Dallas.
Debbie Does Dallas?
Didn't work out for him. Like, didn't make any money.
Yeah, but he got killed by John Wayne in one of those.
Did he?
I
With
don't,
John Wayne? John Wayne was in Gunsmoke?
I don't know. And he also told Dustin Hoffman that Dustin Hoffman wasn't going to make it and that he was.
Oh.
Oh, really?
That's my contribution to this. And then I got to go do camera shit. But yeah, keep going.
Oh.
Do we need to stop soon?
No
Dustin
way.
Hoffman, like from Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
That guy?
No,
Yeah, or The Graduate.
Or, hold on.
Meet the Fock. Like,
Nope, that's Al Pacino.
talking
I was
like,
going to go
like
Scarface.
Pee Wee Herman from that documentary about Pee Wee Herman?
I'm not going to try my Pee
Based
Wee
on the
Herman impersonation.
based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
It sounds a little bit like Smeagol.
So he had these side roles in all these famous shows, right? But he wasn't amounting to what he thought he could amount to. He wasn't paying the bills. I don't know what bills you have that you can't pay by getting jobs in Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Hawaii Five-0, Knight Rider, and Dallas. But he lived in a truck, literally lived in the truck in a campground until his agent called him. This was the first thing he got, so he wasn't successful. His agent called him and said, I need you to come down for this commercial advertisement. Dos Equis is this Mexican beer that's sold in California and Texas, and they're trying to run an ad campaign.
Yeah.
So he goes down and he lines up to be in the audition for the TV commercial. This is 2006.
Mm-hmm.
He sees like 500 people, and they're all, he says, Latin American or Mexican dudes. So he goes to leave, and his manager calls and says, he says, I'm leaving. She says, go back in line. And he gets the gig.
Oh, wow.
Out of 500 people. They said that he was older, wiser. He gave like a less threatening approach to young men. All the beer advertisements were like hot chicks and cool cars. He gave like a less threatening vibe to men and was like they recognized that most men drinking beer at a bar just want to be the most interesting man in the room. So they capitalized on that.
Like you want to be something exceptional. And
They want to
that
be
was what the marketing campaign was going for.
Kind of
And
like young men today want to be special.
They want to partake at the sex house.
Sure.
his character was inspired by his deceased sailing partner and friend.
Did see that.
Oh, interesting.
He wowed them, made up a bunch. He said he made up a bunch of bullshit for the ad, for the audition. He got
That's
the
not
job.
what we all are trying to do, right? Just make up a bunch of bullshit that sells.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I would never try to sell my bullshit to anyone. No.
Oops.
Yeah, the most interesting man in the world, the purported Hispanic guy, is Brooklyn-born Jewish Russian.
Yeah. From the Bronx. Yeah.
Not
from the
Dolph
Bronx,
Lundgren.
From the Bronx to L.A. You just added a little twinge. So is that culture appropriations?
Just how we drew it up.
Hey, I have a
You say it's
question.
how we Jew it up.
I might have mumbled it. I don't think I did, though.
I just read that they spent a little under $100 million. That must be like the going rate for marketing right now. Like, well, we're gonna push a little under $100 million and see where that gets us.
So I think it worked out. So
Yeah, but that was just last year. That's not the most interesting man. Do you have the figures on that?
I have this figure. 2006 is when he took the audition. He got
Yeah.
the gig, 2006, 2007. Before that, Dos Equis was basically a no-name or low-profile beer sold mostly in California and Texas. By 2012, so 6 years later, it became U.S., the American sixth largest brewery in America.
Oh,
Sixth largest seller of beer in America. In 2009, so this is like at the peak of the Most Interesting Man commercials, imported beer was down 4% across the board, but Dos Equis was up 22%.
Those are savage numbers.
That's That's not Bush League.
Yeah. Wow. That thing really took off.
It was a 10-year-long campaign. The most interesting man in the world. Does anyone know where he ended up? They rode him off into the sunset in his last commercial. They played it all up.
Mars, baby.
Mars, yeah. He flew to Mars in a rocket.
I thought he was going to go on the horse to the Old Spice commercials.
That would have been sick if they did a crossover.
They brought him back. Yeah, like he just
This
shows
is
up.
weird.
He lands. They could resurrect like at any time. That could be resurrected. He was sent to be the first man to go to Mars, and they walked him. Like everyone was gathered around all these celebrities from not real celebrities, but like people he had met in these campaigns. They gathered him
how
all,
interesting he was.
and he walked down like a hall and got onto a rocket, and they shot him up into Mars, and then that was like the end of the commercial.
If he comes back and goes in Old Spice, they're gonna have to do some sort of blackface on him though, and I don't know if that's
I
gonna
don't
play.
appreciate that. They could do red face. Well, that's no.
Yeah, you never
That's
know
a
what
no-go,
happens
too.
when you go to Mars. We don't know.
Red face.
Did we even go on the moon?
Well,
The world may
so
never know.
I don't know if this name has anything to do with it, but he is now the campaign poster child face.
Yeah.
What would you call that?
Nah.
The head,
Insert
the
the
face,
word.
the face of the campaign, the face of the ad campaign
The prodigal
for
child.
Astral Tequila. Sounds bad. Astral, not asshole. Astral Tequila, and he basically is the same kind
Seth
of
would put it
character.
there.
He's just a very like rugged, old, good-looking man. But Astral Tequila, like he went to Mars. Now he's Astral Tequila. That's interesting.
Astro tequila.
There is a correlation.
There's the
there
Houston
somewhere. I
Astros, which
can't
is also close to.
no astral is like of the stars, right?
I know. Oh.
Like trying to astral project.
I understand you know the word astro. I'm saying astral.
I'm
Nick
not
just
familiar
said,
with
"Oh,
that word.
again."
Oh my God, what did I say? Astral, of, connected with, or resembling the stars.
You know, like when you have an out of body experience.
He shot up into space. Now he's an astral tequila.
Find out if Astral tequila has anything to do with Dos Equis.
How do you spell asshole tequila?
Nick, are you wearing pants again or not? Don't stand up.
Don't Google asshole tequila.
Nobody wants to see that.
I do have
Sometimes it's a little breezy.
some information
Yep.
regarding the most interesting man in the world that, I wrote down, and I probably am going to say some stuff that we've already said. So there is some controversy regarding Jonathan Goldsmith. So
Oh boy.
2015, Jonathan Goldsmith was sued for breach of contract by his former talent agency, and they claimed he stopped paying commission. So I guess they probably got him the gig or helped him get the gig.
And he didn't pay me. He said,
Yeah, so he had a roughly making $1 million a year from the ads, and he was supposed to be paying 10%. And this is a great quote because it's only one word. He felt like he had paid, quote, enough, which I think is okay.
Yeah.
And by I think, I mean I like the guy because he's in cool commercials. So I'm kind of on his side on this one. And instead of that talent agency like retaining him as an actor, his wife is now his agent.
Anybody that
his agent became his wife. It was his agent that pushed him to go do that first commercial to get the job, and then he ended up marrying her.
Oh, was it?
Nice.
Yeah, she was his agent at that time. He might have joined another talent agency. Might be a conflict of interest when you're.
Yeah. Banging her. Well, just an aside from what you said, Seth, I think that anytime you have somebody that looks distinguished like that with a nice feathered beard, you just want to take their side.
He's got that
Out of either fear or respect. I mean, you either respect him or you fear you're going to die from him. So might as well.
He once told an ad agency he'd paid enough.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I wrote down,
Put that one down.
I watched 10 minutes of the commercials and I wrote down my favorite lines.
All right,
Let's hear what you got.
uninterrupted.
You guys can rate these or say if you think they're good, bad. All right, so
Let's do that. Yeah, you
We'll
read
do a
them.
thumbs
you read
up
them,
and
you
we'll give
read,
you a thumbs
you read
down.
them. We'll take turns after you read the whole thing. We won't interrupt, and then we'll take turns saying score out of 10.
Strap on.
all right, these are my favorites. If he were to pat you on the back, you would list it on your resume.
It's a 6.
Is it-
5.
When in Rome, they do as he does.
That's an 8 for me.
That's an 8. I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
In a past life, he was himself.
It's a little profound. That's a thinker. So I'm going to give it a 7.
That's a 10, you bitch.
I give that a 9. That's cool. But it's insinuating he lives forever, which is nuts.
His fortune cookies simply read, "Congratulations."
That's a 10.
I
love
give
it.
that a 9. I'm holding on to my 10, but
I think we need to
That's great.
do more content of
Just
like go back and forth probably.
do you have more?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll just pull up a list of all of them and we can keep rating.
He was the life of parties he has never attended.
Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah.
They played that one a lot. I feel like during the 98 Super Bowl, maybe.
All right, I'm going to have to preface this. This is my favorite one. He has inside jokes with complete strangers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because the more you think about it, you're like,
you're like,
Yeah, you
how?
don't.
amazing.
You don't.
How?
He once received a standing ovation from a juror's box.
I don't. Okay.
Oh man.
He bowls overhand.
He throws it.
I've heard that's a good one. I mean, that's solid. Like you just envision someone tossing an overhand bowling ball down. getting a
And you
strike.
know that nobody's going to complain because he's the most interesting man in the world.
He once parallel parked a train.
Yeah.
That's good. That one I would probably give a 6, even though it's kind of funny.
He once gave a pep talk so compelling both teams won.
No, I don't.
Nah,
Not it for you.
2.
not moving the needle on me.
He skips the first date.
Oh, he's that kind of broad.
Nick, can you relate?
Yeah. Am I going to elaborate? Absolutely not.
He lives vicariously through himself.
Self. That's a good one.
That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
He can speak French and Russian.
Bilingual.
Is that Kenny?
He's a multilinguist.
I don't like that one.
a
I give it a 2.
linguist.
Nick.
2 will probably be the
that's a
lowest I
reach.
give, and 9 might be the highest unless I hear
That's a reach.
real
Thanks, Seth, for
slapper.
stopping me on that one.
Even his enemies list him as their emergency contact number.
3.
It's okay.
When he has a 50-50 shot, the odds are 80-20 in his favor.
So he's
4.
So he's a bookie.
The emergency contact one, like he wouldn't have an emergency contact if he was a real interesting guy.
Well, it's his enemies have.
Oh, him. I see.
Listing him.
Okay, that's fair.
The Aztec calendar has his Cinco de Mayo party chiseled in.
Oh,
Sure.
sure. Yeah, 4.
Well, Nick just agrees.
2. What
Dude,
about
that one's sick.
What about Bigfoot tries to get pictures of him?
Well, I feel like the ones where they always flip it around are just like,
Easy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you want him to be really creative and profound.
If he were to punch you in the face, you would have to fight off a strong urge to thank him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, I already said that I wrote down the ones that I like. So now if I
Yeah.
agree with any of these, I'm going to have to.
You have to change your list.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a state of aporia, and I'm going to have no way to go back on that to
Yeah.
rectify
Now
that.
that you pointed out they're just opposites, most of these are. He is left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
saw that one. That's a good one.
So wait, what were you saying about Kenny, the team that like wrote these?
So there was a team of writers. I don't think it was a huge team. I can't imagine they'd spend a ton of.
Just 100 million?
Yeah, something like that. I don't think they did that at first, but they were writing like 400 or 500 of these a year, and then just meeting to vote on their favorite, like 2 to 3, or not 2 to 3. I'm sorry, like 50, and then that's what they would do for the year. They just release one every week or two. He once had an awkward moment just to see how it felt.
Panhandlers give him money.
Yeah, I don't.
Once while sailing around the world, he discovered a shortcut.
He can kill 2 stones with 1 bird.
He tips an astonishing 100%.
What does he say about rollerblading?
His passport requires no photograph.
I said no.
No.
No, he says no.
All right, maybe we should wrap this part up.
Wrap it up. Yeah. So
When
Jonathan-
he drives a new car off the lot, it increases in value.
That's a good one.
That is.
Jonathan Goldsmith is the most interesting man in the world. He took this company up. They made millions of dollars. They became the 6th largest brewery. I'm assuming selling in America by 2012. My notes are inaccurate here, but
I didn't really read any.
it's delicious with
export numbers.
spicy. It's delicious with spicy foods. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna eat some like Mexican food or some kind of, I don't know.
I think that
anything on a grill.
authentic Mexican food is great for this.
For this beer.
Yeah, I'm not like eating Taco Bell or going to the beach, and I like
will.
Dos Equis. I really want to feel like I'm in Mexico eating suspect meat.
Nice. Well, Mexico has good meat too.
Yeah, we could just take you to the local gas station. You get some roller food.
You turn off the lights and I'll give you.
Meat muscle.
Yikes. Anyways, our Astral Tequila, who he's the spokesman for now, is owned by Diageo.
Oh, here we go. Circling back.
Back to the beginning.
Back to Modelo Grupo Modelo.
So Jonathan Goldsmith made Dos Equis. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, he did. I mean,
without him, it's
nobody
not,
knew shit about that before.
Yeah, and they wouldn't. And he came, he conquered, he got paid $millions of dollars. They made $millions of dollars.
Found a wife out of it.
Now they're
too.
everywhere. They changed their logo to some shitty, simple logo that I don't enjoy. Not exciting. We'll see. They might have to resurrect him soon.
Yeah, but could they have run that same campaign with somebody else and just plug somebody else in and run the same lines? What do you think?
No, I think he was who we needed.
He was the poster man.
He was the hero that Gotham deserved.
I gotta say, he looks
Hot.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious.
You would.
I would. Maybe for his money.
He wouldn't have time for you.
I don't know who they had lined up aside from him, but he looks like an interesting man. I think he fits the.
Probably didn't have anything to do with him getting the job.
Who knows? We don't know.
Not I.
This is all speculation.
Yeah, the criteria was different.
It's fair.
Maybe, 2006, everybody wasn't getting canceled.
Some people were.
Were they?
Keys.
Who was the first cancellation? Wait, we can't beat Joe Rogan.
Or can we?
Did he have a cancellation?
Well, I don't know. They just talk about that all the time. And then how comedy is like the last bastion of free speech.
That's fair. Thank God we're a satirical podcast. We can say whatever.
Are we even that?
Yeah.
We're barely a podcast.
Kinda. No, we are.
Wait, kind of. I have
Kind of.
I have a controversy note, and I haven't pre-read this, so I don't know what I'm about to say. You want me to go for it?
Just send it.
Send it.
All
Full
right,
send.
it's a full sentence.
I'm gonna just send her, boys.
It's an assassination.
What?
1973. This guy was on his way to work. Red light in Monterey. His car was blocked by another car. Two young men got out. Struggle ensued. His driver and assistant were killed. As he reached for his pistol, two men were also killed. Blah, blah, blah. It was a failed kidnapping attempt by Guerrilla Liga Comunista.
It sounds like the communist
Kind of did a
guerrillas.
good job.
All right, so this Garza guy was
I accept it.
He was a big deal with the company, and he got assassinated. I probably should have said who he was at the beginning, but then again, I don't have this in my notes.
It's probably better that you didn't say who it was because the cartel is still very alive and well.
Yeah, hopefully they don't know about us.
Sounds like when Juan
I'm going to
Balsa-
go ahead and say that you're safe. And if you're not,
What if they messed with Hector
we'll
Salamanca?
remember you and we'll pour one out for you.
Yeah, you think bean dip is going to be safe? I doubt that.
No, they don't even like refried beans there.
Hector
Just like
Salamanca.
refried
Yeah,
beans.
Hector Salamanca. What would you do? Like, you think he had anything to do with the beer?
Nick would be ringing that bell, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like a Salvation Army or Army de Salvacion
Armia. Maybe it's the Armada.
Military Armada de Salvacion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You said it so eloquently.
Spanish Armada.
España.
That
Armada. Armada de España.
I was looking for a year.
Oh, God. 17.
18,
from
16.
From Chris Farley. It's all right. It doesn't.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Does anybody else have more stuff on this one?
Corona? No, Dos Equis? No, I do not.
It is now 12:50 a.m.
Yep. Well,
4.2% alcohol.
1588 was the Spanish Armada. So Chris Farley clearly has his shirt off right now.
Nice.
You might think because of the beard that I'd be hairy. Shaved. What movie is that from?
And that's all for today.
Thanks for joining us for Dos Equis. If you still like us, we'll be here next week. Maybe.